is a really step in the right direction, like making it non-party based. So we have, in fact, we have five candidates that I know and very nice people, and we've had a lot of discussions with them on politics and general like things around Sikkim, like Madam Lamta standing up from Tatangchen. I've worked with her like in Sikkim Hotel and Restaurant Association for 2 terms, and she's a go-getter. She gets the work done in her way, like and we've done some really good work in her tenure. Then we have Kailash Pradhan, a senior friend who's an architect. He's always been concerned like what Gangtok, like from a planning, design, and you've seen him always going to departments and but the architects are never heard in Sikkim. It's only like the engineers. So somehow I'm glad he's there because he's really concerned about urban planning. Then you have Chering Saring, he's standing from Mangan. A lot of times we've even discussed, and he's also mentioned like issues up in north where Mangan, like demographically, it's becoming unrecognizable, especially for the old residents there. So we should even voice these concerns, just talking like when we meet sometimes. Then I think there's Navraj Tiwari, who's a entrepreneur. He started a school. He does. So he's also standing, and I think Mr. Malu from Upper MG Mag. I mean, as an entrepreneur, he's been one of the most senior entrepreneurs in Sikkim. When it comes to photography, photo studios. So it's a very good trend, and maybe it's also a kind of a direction to political parties. Like when you choose the candidates for other elections, instead of just like somebody's favoritism or something, maybe you could follow the primary system, what they do in America. So the candidates among themselves, they could debate, and you get the right candidate for your party cadres to choose the best person possible. So it's a maybe there are a lot of good possibilities here, and I hope it's taken in the right spirit.
Yeah. I mean, we are hoping to reach there when we can bring candidates, opposing candidates, onto the same platform and field questions from us and the other people who might have questions from them. Let's see whether we get there or not. But what you mentioned about candidates also brings up this comment. We'll just continue for politics for some more time. This comment that someone made about, I mean, partyless is wonderful, right? But it is still like, what I would like to kind of know from you is, okay, you know all of these people that you mentioned personally, right? But there will be other candidates also in the fray against them. So how much of an effort are we making to kind of also hear out what they might have to say? Because one of the criticisms that is coming out by a lot of people who are looking at the people who have been filing nominations is, don't you think it's becoming too privileged? I mean, don't you think it's the elite people who are kind of getting in there? Which I'm not saying is a bad thing, huh? I don't think it's bad. But that is going to be something that even the candidates will have to face when they go out and campaign among the people. That, the whole thing, right? English speaking, well educated, what will he understand how a person who has to live on rent survives? So, do you think that could be an issue? We could start with you. The kind of profile of all of us are excited about the new people who are getting in, right? But do you think we've got enough variety there, or is it again some people who've always been involved, engaged at some level, who are kind of stepping in?
I think personally it would not be as much of an effect as if it was rural based kind of an election happening. So in a more urban center, I think the thought of being elitist, that probably comes down a little bit more. And education always is key, right, in a democracy. So if you have a good educated public that are voting, they will be a lot more conscious, whether from whatever walk of life that they come from. So I don't think it's going to be as bad that way. But there will be sectors, I think there will be areas like, Gangtok has a lot of urban slums. I remember this is something that we used to discuss as friends, and even with Kailash, a lot of urban slums, and there are real problems. But it doesn't mean that, let's say, some of these quote-unquote elitists, it doesn't mean that they don't know these problems that are there. And sometimes it's not so bad to have people with, let's say, thinking on the slightly larger picture to help plan for the future. Of course, their feet have to be on the ground. And that is why I think moving forward, we should have a lot of discussions and debates. I think that is the way to move forward. So I don't think, to your question, I don't think it's going to be that much of an effect.
That much of
Yeah.
impact. Since the thought is still fresh with you, we'll let you go next. Do you think we have enough variety, in the list of candidates?
Yeah, I mean, in fact, for the first time, I actually know 5 candidates. Like that's like really.
That's
good
what I
to
was
start off with.
thinking.
But,
I mean, like-
I think post nomination, I think it'd be great if Summit Times could actually get the candidates
Yeah.
and have the right questions, and I think it would serve their purpose also
Mm.
a lot. Like let the public choose. But I think it's great, and since they are like it's non-party based, I think they'll be there to place their agenda for why should people elect them. What are their views? Like somebody would have like for example maybe Kailash Da would have more views on how planning should be done because he's been in that field for a long time. He's an architect for more than 30-40 years now. Whereas the other candidates also were entrepreneurs, so they've spent most of their life doing that, so they would have a different take on that. So I think it'll be a great idea if the social media pages and the mainstream media in Sikkim could also get these candidates together and have a discussion. And I'm sure like it's not happened whenever political parties we see, they're always getting personal and fighting, but I think this would be more civil and dignified.
If you can get all of them and do it ward-wise, that would be nice. What do you think? I mean, do you think, and that's not unique to municipal elections, right? I mean, like, because generally elections, people with slightly more influential people only end up getting the tickets. But your municipal election, are you seeing enough variety? I listen to
We have a choice this time actually, and we can see familiar faces also. And यो पालि के छ भन्दा पनि जो leaders should have potential, sincerity and dedication towards work. And मतलब जब त्यो छ भने that person is a leader. And this time we are having one lady from our community also, Sunita Siroya. So we are drawn to her, means what kind of work she is doing and how she is. So it makes us easy to vote, means according to our choice, and who is working well. So I hope this time it will be the best election.
Yeah, at least you have a lot of options,
Yeah.
a lot of very exciting options.
Yeah.
What would you say about, let's say, the profile of candidates that we are seeing so far?
See, I think now, we have been discussing about Gangtok's problem and all of that for a while, So in this case, you can have the candidates coming from the elite background, but the problem is not elite. The problem touches all sections of society, because we are so closely, the whole, homes and houses and everything so closely thing that, that one footpath that goes from one end to other end, it will touch all sections of society.
Yeah.
So it's not really now about elitist and this and that, it's just because problems are not like that, it really affects everyone. So I don't think that would be really a major concern. I don't think even, there's another interesting thing is that your ma'am just talked about the fact that, women, participation of women now in policy making, taking control of things and all that. That's another big thing, right? We've never seen that. So that could really bring in a new dimension in terms of Sikkim's politics. That is a very exciting thing. Another thing is that probably I'm just looking at this one thing where, I don't know whether it's right to say here now, but if candidates were not selected based on reservations,
Yeah.
ST or OBC or this or that, they're selected from a point of view of merit, how well they can communicate or engage, or like the way you mentioned, how well they can engage with a problem and with the citizens. I think I'm looking forward to things like that because
That level of awareness.
yeah, because I don't really understand reservation-based thing. Say for example, I'm from the BL community. If I stand from Gangtok, that means I'm only going to be taking care of the BL guys. That's you're sending a completely, different message, and that's not right. So I think we are now really looking for maybe everything's unreserved.
That will be the ideal world when people are selected purely for merit and what they bring to the table. But one kind of escape hatch we have there is that your voters are not from your community primarily, right? So
Yeah.
your responsibility then goes to your voters who come from all sections of the society. I mean, that is, yeah, but that would be such a wonderful time when we could just pick people for their merit. And I think, I mean, just to stick with that point, because we've talked about this so much, is people make this mistake of thinking that, let's say a BL or an OBC candidate can only stand from a BL or OBC constituency or ward. Whereas when we say unreserved, it means that these are reserved for you. You can also go to the unreserved and contest, but we don't see that in Sikkim. So one way to getting to an unreserved utopia would be when people from reserved communities can also win from unreserved constituencies based purely on their merit. It almost happened once in Gangtok, right? I think in the 79-84 elections when a BL candidate almost won in Gangtok, which was unreserved at that time. But yeah, I mean, that would be a wonderful kind of future to look at. But now getting into your entrepreneurial journeys, because we, in the end, are going to talk about what do the entrepreneurs want from the city where they're all based. So if you could start with Hemlata. You said that you had your detox center for about 20 years.
Okay.
So if you could just tell us how, because it's a new idea, right? I mean, a detox center, when you go to get your licenses and things like that, I think government officers will say, is this a clinic? Is this a shop? Is like what license to give you? I'm sure there must have been problems. So if you could just tell us how easy or difficult was it to set up your business? I mean, we're talking purely from the administrative part of things, right? Government को जुन चाहिँ permitहरू के निकाल्नु पर्छ?
Government को permit जस्तो
Licenses,
मेरो जुन चाहिँ
operations.
detox center, it was completely new before you can say 14-15 years, you can say मान्छेले बुझ्थेन what is
I
detox
know.
center.
कुन चाहिँ हेडमा
And there
लाइसेन्स
was
दिनु?
no this thing detox food spa भनेर हाम्रो लाइसेन्स हुन्छ food spa अन्त त्यो लाइसेन्सको मतलब त्यो वर्डै थिएन त्यसमा चाहिँ GMC मा. And after we started and we faced lot of problems firstly, and after that they gave us this thing opportunity to have detox center in Sikkim. So now people try to understand what is the concept and how they can heal themselves naturally.
And कति time लाग्यो like for the let's say the GMC to understand कि अरे अच्छा business छ भने त अब just because हाम्रोमा त्यो head छैन अब license दिनु त भएन.
It took 7 to 8 years na.
Wow. To convince them कि like I am a legitimate business.
No, to
So, yeah, I
understand
mean,
the
she wins
concept
all of you there.
yeah, it's completely new. Neither it is allopathic nor it is Ayurvedic. See, it's bio. And bioelectro means it's very hard for people to understand only. They don't understand only, what is the thing actually. Na? And
Yeah,
they
yeah.
when they come
No,
to
but
us,
it's
na,
not like the government has to promote
Yeah.
it, or they just have to make you a legal business, right? License
Yeah.
ko to kura, because that will come up, I think, with the
it's
rest
a
of them
healthcare
also.
business,
Yes.
but matlab jisto it takes time to understand also. I hope.
No, I can understand people will take time to
Yeah,
understand
yeah.
and come to you. But license, business start guru lagi license dinu ma ta iti beshi time na lagnu.
No, they have to verify also, na, I
Yeah,
think, what is
okay.
the business about and all. na.
Yeah, I mean, so
Whether I'm making it legal or not, whether whatever I'm doing that is legal or not.
And was that- okay.
I think it-
you're frustrating the bhayo over like 7 years you have to
To
wait.
understand.
Tara, was it also difficult?
Yeah.
Like, was the paperwork process convincing, like समझाउनु त्यो like
No, it's
But it
not
was
difficult
not
because.
because you're an old family in
Yeah,
Bangkok,
yeah.
so there's that whole
Yeah,
connection
yeah,
to it
yeah,
as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
whole connections and all.
I know. Because I was thinking of coming to Naresh next, but then I thought I'll go to Pinsoi because it's related, because you started something called Let's Local,
Yeah.
which I mean, okay, the online business is kind of established elsewhere in the country, but in Sikkim it's still relatively new, I would say, right? So what was the journey like for you, right? And when I ask you that, right, of the process of starting from the idea to the setting up of the establishment, is we have to also all again, like I'm going back to that whole privileged businesses, that all of us, like sitting here, let's accept we come from reasonably privileged backgrounds where phone calls help. But if you were, let's say, okay, tell us about your experience, but also tell us about what if, I don't know, some kid in Tinkitam had come up with this idea and how difficult it might have been for him,
Ma'am,
from your point of
ma'am को 6 years को बाद मतलब लाज लाग्यो भन्दा
You can't complain anymore.
But I think for me personally, अब Let's Local the नया हो, we just this was COVID को time में खोलेको हो, and
Yeah, it's very good.
so that's pretty new. And actually, Let's Local is an e-commerce platform. It's not a delivery company.
Okay.
तर हाम्रो लाइसेन्समा चाहिँ डेलिभरी भनेर दिएको छ सो I'm not going to go and fight and try and figure out like how we can do it
Yeah.
as an e-commerce platform, so which is okay. So छिटै भइहाल्यो. We should give credit, I think, where it's due. Definitely, when I first opened my license, 2009.
That is, we're talking art.
हजुर त्यति बेला चाहिँ के थियो भने चाहिँ UDSD-बाट थियो ट्रेड लाइसेन्सको.
Yes.
त्यहाँ चाहिँ निकै साह्रो पायो, टाइम पुरा लाग्यो. But when we migrated to the GMC, I must say that it was a much better experience. अहिले छिट्टो हुन्छ, अब बिहान गएर कागजहरू रेडी छ pretty much in a day or 2 days at the most. Provided that म्यामले भन्नुभएको जस्तो your business is listed in that list. अब त्यो लिस्टमा छैन भने चाहिँ then I really don't know what will happen.
You wait 6 years.
Yeah. But again, as an entrepreneur, I would say that definitely there are difficulties in Sikkim. I think there's a controversial topic of I think the Sikkim Companies Act and the Indian
Yes,
Companies Act
yes.
that is I think undergoing right now. I think the government is trying to figure out a plan how to do that. हाम्रो कति 6 to 7 years भयो that we haven't had any companies registered in Sikkim, and which
Because
was- yeah.
like you can't do it under the Sikkim Companies Act and people
Yeah,
don't
because
want
there is
to
no
get- that's the whole confusion.
Yeah,
yes.
there's no registration yet. It's
Yeah.
not being taken, right?
Wow.
So which is scary.
Can you imagine that? Okay.
Which is really scary, because not only can, let's say, the kid that you mentioned from Tinkitam
Yeah.
is really bright, and the company start garchu bhanyo भने company start गर्नु सक्दैन, right? Of course there are problems why that is being stuck.
Yeah.
I mean, we won't get into that, but it also means that guys like us, I mean, as a company, we are a private limited company, and we try and raise investments from across the country. And so when you're trying to encourage business in the younger generation right now, getting venture capital funding in general, this is a very important aspect, right? And like I think the other day, I think Naresh mentioned also, the AIC and SMIT, they're doing a good job of trying to incubate a lot of youngsters and getting this going. But it's difficult because there are these roadblocks. So how can you get more people to be self-reliant where we have a lot of roadblocks? So yes, to answer the question, it is not very easy. Traditional businesses are start गर्न सक्यो भने fairly simple. अहिले especially GMC area मा लाइसेन्सेसहरु छिटो निस्किन्छ अहिले. पहिला हेरे त धेरै छिटो भएको छ.
And
But-
that's because of the shift from UDSD to
Yeah,
GMC.
definitely. I think the GMC
And
is
it's online.
and it's online. Now हाम्रो जति renewalहरु छ GMCहरुको त we don't put होला online सिधै गरिहाल्छ.
Wow.
So it's improved a lot. But I would love to be on a table where we can sit down with the government and discuss on how to make things better.
Yes.
How we can make Sikkim investable. That's
Mm.
probably how it works.
Because I mean, like, I mean, before I come to Naresh, because are we really seeing, apart from these companies that invest factories and all that, are we seeing, like, from, if you can just tell me yes or no, we can get into that later. Sikkim investment now, sir, from outside, like, are people saying, okay, I like your business, I'll put in money, or like, I like what EcoStream is doing, and like, I want to put in money. How difficult or easy is it for you to source that?
I mean,
Not loans, we're not talking
Yeah.
loans, we're talking like.
so to answer that question, I think it's
And do it properly,
Yeah.
not like ki dost ne dal diya paisa, right?
Yeah, I think it's difficult to answer that in a very straight sentence, because obviously any investment made by anybody looks at scalability, right? And we obviously should not think of Sikkim centric. If we are starting a business in Sikkim, it doesn't mean that Sikkim ma matrai garne ho business. It can be born out of Sikkim, but it should spread out elsewhere, because any company will come and invest in you if you are scalable. And scalability also means technology. And in our work office, every second word we keep using, technology. My partner Karma will keep saying technology, and wakai banaउँछ हाम्रो यो कुरामा technology. But those are the areas where we are lacking.
Mhm.
How can we get our youngsters who are trained to come back and work here? I mean, we struggle all the time to find good programmers, to coders, to get that kind of stuff work done here. But to answer the question of are companies or outside people investing in Sikkim companies, I really don't know. That's a big question mark, and I'm pretty sure there's no data out there. Right? And like I mentioned, I mean, the AIC is a start. At least there are some companies that are functioning, that are opening, and I have a lot of hope in the younger generation. All these guys that have started deliveries, and so many home bakers. There's massive potential for scalability. And ma'amle jun चाहिँ भन्नुभएको छ, I think women entrepreneurs. I mean, they're everywhere. And we just did a post on Let's Local today. We noticed that there were 92% of our customers were women, and over 85% of our partners were actually women entrepreneurs.
Without reservation. So
Without reservation.
there you have a success story.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you have a system.
Yeah.
No, that's wonderful. Lota. So now, Naresh, tell us about your experience of starting a business. I mean, you started with Home Depot, then you have two restaurants and a hotel. So how easy, difficult, any interesting stories?
Honestly, like it was quite easy because we were born and brought up in Gangtok, and you know, and my father and all, they were in the government. So somehow the other license, like it wasn't too much of a difficulty because you have your trade license, firm registration. But I have my COI and all, you know, so it's very easy. But again, for somebody who has a RC certificate, but who does not have a COI, but they've lived here for 2 or 3 generations, I've seen it's very difficult for them. I've seen them go to GMC time and again, and there's
To
always
get a new license.
to get a new license is always an issue. So I always see they have a license with somebody who's a local, and you know, it's in his name. That's how most of them function. Like it's unlike even in a place like Mizoram where they have so much of local protection. Somebody from outside can come and do business, but he has to have a local partner. So I think that's a better way, like, because you know, if something goes wrong or you're not paying your taxes or something, you have your local partner to
As a
deal with,
guarantor.
yeah, as a guarantor that way. So smaller businesses, it's not, it hasn't been difficult for me because government offices are my license or got the answer if you you know, comply with all the things. It's not that difficult. It's just that you know, the lethargy in the government offices is too much. So if you think you can do it in a week, just give it a month's time, you know. So you got to be a little patient, but they do it anyways. For somebody from the rural areas, like, yeah, there are a lot of entrepreneurs. Like, in fact, every time a group of friends, we do small gatherings, bake sales, farmers market. We have entrepreneurs from all over Sikkim. In fact, there's a wonderful winemakers from Burmik, like in West Sikkim, Shimpuguras. That's the first range of fruit wines that are coming out. So they approached me, but I kind of advised them, like, I think they're getting their permission from excise. They, you know, because those rules are not there, you know. So likewise, all over Sikkim, there are entrepreneurs coming up, but also at the same time, I think maybe the government in some way or the other, like in school curriculum, you know, instead of having, so, I mean, we have all the subjects, but maybe we could include like entrepreneurship. I mean, basic things like, what's a business, how do you start it, what are the licenses, I mean, if you want to include technology. So that's a good way to start at that level. So maybe the state education board, because OFOJ is not the answer, you know, what the government's doing seriously, like, you know.
Yeah, it is not even.
Yeah, there's not gonna be any productivity. He's gonna be lazy, getting 7,000, 8,000 odd rupees, like staying home or going to office and not doing anything, you know. That's just like cheap gimmicks and politics. I think they should rather, like, you know, I'm sorry about
No, I think out of all of us, he's not a lot of stuff to work for.
Yeah, I mean, there are better ways to like actually engage the youth. That's actually, you know, I think that's more of an insult, like, you know. I think the better ways, you could have schemes where you could give them soft loans. You know, what they want to do, you know, just like, will I come there, then reservations, this, that, you know. I mean, that way is a whole generation, like something 1,000 odd people are going to be non-productive, you know. So I think there are better ways to look at it. Though it's a very good idea, you know, to have one family employed from one person to be employed from a family, but the way it's gone about, like, I don't think that's the way.
It's
like,
taken
you know.
away a lot of human resource.
Yeah, yeah.
I think pulled out a lot of human resource from the market. Really. Yeah. Yeah. So now coming to Sonam. So I'll start off with, I'll tell you something that very interesting was told to me yesterday by a young entrepreneur. So she was saying, like, she came back from college and said, "Ki ab restaurant kholne." Right, that was her, kind of like you, right? Trained to be a lawyer, but then said, restaurant kholna hai. So, and she said, "I'll do it myself, right? I'll do the whole entire legwork myself. I'll go everywhere and get the licenses myself." And she said, after a whole week, just trying to get one signature of the mayor for the trade license or whatever, she just gave up, came home, daddy ko bola, dad made some calls, and she said the trade license came laminated and delivered to her, right? So that is one way of doing things, which again, like, it cuts off so many people, right? So tell us about what your experience of this setting up EcoStream was like. Is this the first one that you tried to, that you set up, right? So yeah, that would be an interesting one to hear about.
So
How many departments, how much time?
So I mean, it was quite an interesting thing because I mean.
And just briefly, I mean, like, we generally have an idea, but what is EcoStream officially registered as?
So we are
Right.
registered as a design company. So now that was a big
Yeah.
one, right? So similar kind of a experience.
Like, yeah,
here, so
we talk. So Home Depots would have been like an
But,
like
you know,
Russian
I've done
Dukan.
on proprietorships. Yeah, it's a Russian Dukan.
Okay.
So, and not only in Sikkim, but we were one of the first of the design companies in a private sector, you know, because mostly all design companies are sold proprietorships and all that. So we came here with a whole private limited registration thing, and we had to go and explain. And I'm an industrial designer, trained as an industrial designer is a very broad thing. You know, so I'm specifically trained as an industrial designer. So and my partners were, you know, animation film designer, and there's a textile designer. So you had, you know, these things, you know, new definitions of design, and then you had to go and explain everything, right? I literally made presentations.
This is what we do.
Yeah, this is what we do, you know, this is the work, and everything, this is what we do, exactly. Now, and it's the design becomes like a very integrated thing, right? It's not a very separate thing, it's a very integrated thing. So for me to kind of first, the whole thing just went into design sensitization, you know, at different levels, you know, law department, at first thing the CA, you know, because he's the guy who's like, saying, sir, I don't understand what you do, you know, by now, you know, you say, आप ये भी करते हो, आप वो भी करते हो, आप ये भी करते हो, आप मतलब एक चीज business क्या है आपका?
पैसा कहाँ से कमाओगे?
हाँ, business क्या है? So, you know, it became like a quite a, you know, effort in terms of, you know, we were even going and applying for trade licenses just to kind of explain the chartered economy exactly, you know, my MOA and AOA, when we had to memorandums, we had to kind of like articles we had to draw out, and you know, so we had to put out the points exactly what is it that we're going to do. It just became like a 30-40 page document, and that CA just went wild. It's like, sir, आप थोड़ा सा condense करके बता दो क्या है, you know, because it's like you literally are saying that you're going to get doing into everything, you know, and actually, you know, the way we are trained in design is that, you know, we are part of a solution, we are not the solution. So the businesses also were like that. So first, like your, you know, problem and, you know, Prince's problem, and a lot of entrepreneurs' problem that will come up is that these new ideas and businesses won't come from traditional systems. This will be coming from innovation, this will be coming from things which are not there, you know. So how is the municipality or any, forget the municipality, you know, how is the, at the central level, or, you know, our political system going to be understanding this new concepts and new ideas, and how they're going to bring them in? That's a big challenge, you know, because the challenge is not only at the GMC level or the government, it's at the banks. You know, when the banks have to give you a loan and they say that, okay, aap karte kya ho? Then, you know, it becomes like a very difficult thing, you know. So, but then, yeah, these are, you know, challenges of entrepreneurship, and we have to take it head on. I don't think there's one solution. There's one solution to the, you know, one problem, but, you know, what I'm seeing now is like at least one system that's going to be in place, which is accessible, you know, and a very simple system. And later, other problems we can still resolve it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we can. It's a thing of time. It's a thing of, you know, making effort to make the other person understand. That will take its own. But basic stuff, you know, we need. Like, there should be no complications there. You know, just like listing down what are the papers that you require. Just that.
Like I remember you mentioned something like there was no clarity on how many NOCs or how many departments
Yeah.
permits you required, right?
Yeah, I went to, like, you know, 10 different places, literally 10 different places. Out of that, 5 was relevant. The others were all big. And say, you're running left, right, and center, and you're trying to coordinate with things. No? So what could have been done in one day, you are. And I must, like, you know, Prince was mentioning something. I must give some credit to the commissioners who have been here. You know, they really hold the fort, and they've done really some amazing work at the GMC recently. You know, so I feel that, you know, there are people are trying, government is trying, everyone's trying, but you just feel that, you know, that there is no communication right now. You know, and I feel that, you know, this new format, you know, that will come out with.
So maybe that's where the accessibility that you're talking
Exactly.
about of your representatives. Because even if our ward councillor ले त्यो industrial policy change गर्नु सकेन भने पनि influence the गर्नु सक्छ नि. I mean, they can at least carry your word to the assembly and to the MLAs and all these things to kind of raise. No, because like I don't know where we're going to go from here if you're going to tell me that no new companies have been registered for 6 years. That yeah, which is very true because we have also kind of experiencing that right now.
This is
Because-
very worrying because I think I mean you can do small businesses like proprietorships and thing, but because of a lack of Companies Act not being extended to the state of Sikkim, like I think like the smaller entrepreneurs maybe in the tech field, you know, where do they go and register? In fact, Gangtok Smart City is registered in Darjeeling,
Yeah.
above Hotel Penang. Like I think the government really needs to look at this and
Yeah.
bring about some kind of amendment. Like I mean, it's very easy to say it's against rule laws, but I mean, the Sikkim Companies Act was just a 2-page document. It was the need of the hour at that time. So I think the political parties and the government really needs to look at this and have some kind of act like you know, Companies Act, because for local entrepreneurs to set up their businesses registered in Sikkim. I mean, another way out is you could register a limited liability partnership under 2008 or 9 Act, but again, that's just a partnership.
Yeah, because
you know,
those
but
are
not a
promises that are
yeah.
being forced on you, right? What if I want to scale up and things like that? I mean, yeah, but then that comes into the whole policy level. I think one day we should, and that is primarily, I mean, like one reason why it is stuck is also because it's emotional.
Yeah.
And the moment you make something emotional and sentimental, then more reason with people becomes very difficult, right? More time like that. And I think entrepreneurs will have to take a forward role in that to tell people, ki, bhai, this is not even practical anymore, the situation that we find ourselves in. I mean, what you tell us about smart city is like crazy. We should be having this discussion in Darjeeling then, no?
I mean, it's fair, it's emotional, but also, I mean, they bring about emotion when it suits them, and sometimes it doesn't suit them. Like, if it's so emotional, then why have these crony capitalist companies that have come to Sikkim over these past years, like they get a 99-year lease? You know, it's time to,
Yeah.
you know, revisit things, certain policies which are going to affect our future generation, but right now about entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Sorry, but yeah, I think Sikkim Companies Act is really something which the government really needs to look at, like, you know.